Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to Hangout with ST. She's Alyssa.
And he's Hairianto, and Hangout with ST is a weekly news bulletin where we bring you top stories of the week.
Yep, anything that is happening around locally and everything that's happening around the world. You know, Alyssa, it's so nice to be back.
I'm so glad to have you back.
Last week I was away for Malaysia GE.
And watching Bruno Mars.
Of course. But it was a good experience, you know, being in Malaysia, really seeing, and especially really nice to actually see Tun Mahathir in person. You know, so subliminal.
And you got quite close as well, right?
Yeah, it's quite close, but it was crazy lah. But happy to be back here this week.
And as always, we are coming to you live from the ST newsroom. So do leave some comments. We might just read it later during the show.
Yep, and of course this week, Alyssa, we are going to be talking about things that are a bit heavy, right?
But close to heart.
Yeah, but
right,
close to heart still.
Singaporeans.
And then after which, you know, we'll tail off with a bit more lighthearted and our top Facebook comments, of course. And this week, you know, we'll be discussing inequality and social mobility in Singapore. And also ragging gone wrong, which resulted in the death of an NSF.
And also a viral 4-second audio clip. Is it Yanny or Laurel that you're hearing? And also the season 2 premiere of Living City, which is a ST original series.
Yep, correct. And I think we can now take a look at
just
comments.
Say hi. We'll just say hi to some of you who are in. Okay, so Ahmad Sobirin says, yo, yo, yo.
Okay.
Yo, yo, yo.
Derek says hi. Patrick says hi. Gerard, Sasi Pile, Philip Tan. Let's see.
Hi.
Oh, a lot of hi, yeah.
Okay, so already some have comments about inequality, even before we started the segment.
Yep, but keep your comments coming in because certainly we want to read your comments. You know, so Alyssa, growing up when you were in school, right?
Yep.
Do you have friends from, you know, different backgrounds?
I did, yeah. So my primary, secondary school and was in the heartlands, and I went to poly, and I did have friends from different income backgrounds, right? I knew someone whose family had a driver. Oh. And also in poly, I had friends who had to work part-time while they were studying.
Okay, so very good mix, very diverse, right? So what happened was yesterday, on Wednesday, in fact, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong actually touched on the issue of social mobility during his debate speech on the President's address. Now, although inequality is still not a big problem here in Singapore, we want to just make that clear. The government does, you know, notice that there are cracks in it. Yep.
Right, and also MPs and ministers, they gave suggestions and spoke about the government's work to ensure people can move upwards. So what PME said on Wednesday was that elites would have to ensure that, you know, those who lack the right backgrounds and connections but have the talent and the ability, they should be welcomed into the social networks so that they have the chance to rise to the top.
Now, the fear, of course, is the elite would only look out for themselves and not care for the other society. Now, he also shared an anecdote by Education Minister Ong Ye Kung. Now, here's a clip of what he said.
Let me share something which Ong Ye Kung told me recently. RI, Raffles Institution, is one of our most popular schools. I didn't go to RI, but I can tell you it's a good school. It has a strong tradition of accepting students from diverse backgrounds, so long as they make the cut. But over the years, RI has become less diverse. The new RI principal has been putting in the effort, speaking to parents of potential students in primary schools across Singapore to encourage them to apply to RI. To his surprise, some of the parents told him they didn't want to send their child there. Why? Not because they thought their child couldn't cope with the academic demands, but because they feared he wouldn't be able to fit in with other, more well-off students. Actually, I think this fear is unfounded. Because in reality, RI students do come from varied backgrounds. And just over half the students live in public housing, 53%, and all of the students get along confidently and comfortably. And bursaries and scholarships are readily available. So no parent needs to worry that he can't afford to send his child to RI or that his child will feel out of place. But if such a perception exists, and discourages promising students from applying to the school is not good for RI, is not good for Singapore. RI knows what it has to do in order to uphold its egalitarian tradition. MOE will work with them and other popular schools too, so that these schools never become self-perpetuating closed circles.
Right, so Mr. Ong Ye Kung, who spoke on Tuesday, he said that over 80% of our schools here already have a rather good mix of students from different income backgrounds. However, when groups are predominantly formed along their socio-economic status, then it is the start of stratification and will poison society over time.
Yep. So there need to be policies, right, that will bring Singaporeans of all backgrounds together and encourage social mixing. So really, for those of you who are watching us right now, what do you think are some of the factors that contribute to inequality in Singapore? Beyond just education, there could be other factors as well.
Because it's a very complex issue, right? It's not just one thing.
It's not just one thing. And Alyssa, as the adage goes, right? Birds of the same feather tend to flock together, right? People with similar interests, backgrounds, perspectives, they tend to just come together and form cliques. That said, of course, I think one way to prevent closed circles from forming is for schools to be diverse, so that children or kids from different backgrounds can mix around and just, interact with one another.
So how was your experience growing up, like for school and schooling?
The thing is, the years in school, we cannot disagree that they are the formative years, right? So back when I was in school, I was from a heartland school as well, primary, secondary, and then I went to junior college. Fortunately, the demographic of the school schools that I attended, very varying backgrounds as well. So I had friends from different socioeconomic backgrounds, race, religion, culture. So it was really fortunately a very good mix for me. Now, I was not the smartest in school, of course, and I wasn't, the most well-to-do, but fortunately I managed to secure a place in university. And in fact, during a class in university, there was a topic on meritocracy that we discussed, and of course, as the term implies, meritocracy is about being judged based on your merits. So if everyone strives hard enough, gets the score, you will be rewarded. However, the thing about meritocracy is, we were discussing, it disregards the fact that everyone does not start on a level playing field, right?
That's right.
So things like financial assistance then come in to kind of help and make sure that the level, that the field is more level.
More level, right? So in this book, this is what inequality looks like. It's written by sociologist Teo Yo Yen. What she says is that she pointed out that affluent parents, they're able to give their children the advantage through tuition, right, and enrichment classes. Parents with means can afford to do so. They can even afford to take time off work to help their children with exams, right? And parents with lower income, they don't have the luxury to do so, right? So that's one example of
inequality, right? In that sense
and disadvantage,
also.
right?
Disadvantage, correct. And but beyond that, you see, Alyssa, we talk about, of course, coming from different socioeconomic backgrounds, and I don't deny. And I think you wouldn't as well. If you come from a more privileged background, better socio-economic backgrounds, you will tend to have better access to opportunities, to means, right, and all that. But I think personally, at the end of the day, it's really also up to the individual.
You could have all the tuition in the world, doesn't mean that you'll be the smartest.
Correct.
And we do have classmates who don't even need tuition, but they do very well.
Exactly. So it's really, I suppose, when the opportunities present themselves, is whether you want to grab it, right, and go like, okay, make the best out of it, right? And the thing is also,
be adaptable.
I say, more importantly, is for you to, while you have IQ, is to have the EQ as well. I say, learn to be more resourceful, learn to be more adaptable, and when an opportunity comes along, do not be afraid to seek out and step out and seize all these opportunities, right? Seize the day, carpe diem, right? That's what they say.
Rather than like, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that?
Right. And again, of course, everybody is with limitations. Be aware of your limitations, and just think of ways to circumvent them. Right? So let us know, for those of you who have just come in and joined us, this is Hangout with ST. I'm happy to be back. here after a week of hiatus.
Right.
And we're
we
coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom.
Right, and we were just talking about inequality in Singapore.
Yep. And I think we can see some comments.
We should.
Right? Let's see.
Okay, let's see. We just want to make sure that we don't read any. Be careful with the comments.
Yeah,
right?
okay. So Anna Wang says SG has attracted the best brains and given commensurate emoluments or pay. Hence, our politicians have no need to resort to corruption as in other nations. Okay, what else do we have here? People saying hi. Okay, a lot of you are saying hi. I think Sean Zylo, this is the third time that you're in here joining us. We see a lot of familiar names
We do.
new names.
Yes.
So keep your comments coming in
Okay, there are
because
some-
certainly we want to be reading them. Yep.
Definitely. There are some general comments about how they don't want GST or CPF, but
Yeah, keep your comments
Yeah,
coming
it
in.
stops there,
Tell
so,
us,
there's not
tell us
much.
what you think. Okay. Alyssa, we had quite a sad past few days as well, right?
We did,
I
right.
think 2 weeks back, we spoke about the Mindef tragic case, and on
full-time,
Sunday,
right?
in fact, a full-time SCDF NSF drowned after he was found at the bottom of a pump well at the Tuas View Fire Station.
So Corporal Kok Yuan Chin, he went into the well as part of a stunt to celebrate the approaching end of his
Yes,
national
of
service,
his
right?
national
Which would be
service.
on Sunday, yesterday, and
Yep.
he was 22 years old. The pump well is 12 meters deep. It's not very wide, less
Yeah,
than
it's
2
not very
meters
wide,
wide. And it holds water for the training and testing of the fire engine pumps.
Correct. And when Corporal Kok was in the well, it is known that the water was actually 11 meters deep.
Right.
Correct. 2 regular SDF officers have been arrested, and other officers are also being investigated.
Now, Corporal Kok's older sister, Eileen, had said that he was fearful of being lowered into
Yeah.
the well since he could not swim.
Yeah.
And she did advise him to bring up the matter to his senior officers.
Senior officers, right? Now, SCDF has also said that it does not tolerate activities like ragging or hazing, and they have even punished offenders before. Yeah, and but according to former servicemen, ragging is still practiced in the force despite regular warnings from commanders not to do so.
Yeah, so it really just shows how
Yeah.
deep-rooted this tradition is, right? So former SCDF servicemen, they said that the belief it stems from the belief that firefighters should be comfortable with water because it's
Correct.
it's
part of
what they
their
work with, right?
Correct. And in fact, there were a few cases that have been reported, and the 2 of them, that we've picked out here. In 2015, 3 officers actually used a water hose on their new colleague as part of his initiation. And in 2010, a similar case, 2 newcomers were forced to enter a fire station's pump well. Fortunately, in these cases, actually no one died. Yeah.
So investigations for the case are still ongoing, so we shouldn't be making any speculations. Findings will be made known in due time.
Yeah. Alyssa, we mentioned it before, national service is a huge part of every Singaporean man here in Singapore, and even for families as well, because it's a shared experience, right?
Yep.
And the ending or the completion of national service training is something to be celebrated.
Definitely something to look forward to, right?
Something to look forward to, right? You're happy after serving 2 years of national service. You're going to be reintegrated back into society as a civilian. There is a call for celebration, but at the end of the day, whatever activities that are being carried out, just observe safety, right? And to this end, we would like to extend our deepest condolences to Corporal Kok's family. And for those of you, of course, who have just recently joined us, this is Hangout with the ST.
And we are coming to you live from the ST newsroom. So far, we've talked about the inequality in Singapore and also social mobility.
Yes, correct.
Right?
And I think we can look at comments. Okay, so we have Jasmine Lee. Jasmine Lee, smiley face, says, parents need to know that even when we have given the so-called best opportunities to our kids, ultimately they need to learn that the kids need to learn their success depends on themselves and not what parents want of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
the onus is on the kids.
and Brian Lin says, birds of a feather flock together until the cat comes. Is that a new saying?
Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, Brian Chi says, report to superior, wait kena tekan.
He's probably talking about the SCDF one.
SCDF one.
Right.
Okay.
So Nicholas Tan says tekan session is part of NS passing out ceremony, just that last time officers know their limits.
Yep. Okay, last one from Kok Siang Tan that says, how could the commanding officer be not aware of the ragging, the CEO should be held accountable too.
Okay.
Again,
Let's not speculate, right.
speculate. Investigations are still ongoing.
Okay. So moving on, the internet united over crispy rendang, remember a few weeks ago, and it seems now that they are divided because of a 4-second audio clip. Yanny or Laurel, right?
On Tuesday, Twitter user Chloe Fellman posted a 4-second clip asking viewers to vote if they heard a man saying Yanny or Laurel. Like
So obviously there are two camps,
Yeah.
right, about this. So have a listen to the clip.
Yeah.
Laurel, 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 Laurel.
Okay.
Okay, so we played it many times already.
Yeah.
So tell us what you hear.
What you hear? Okay, so if you had seen our Instagram story earlier on Straits_Times, that's our Instagram. I said that I heard Laurel,
Right.
right, and then you heard Yanny.
For the sake of argument, I said Yanny lah. But to be honest, I really heard something called Yayi. To me, it wasn't really Yanny. It was like Yayi.
But the closest is Yanny, right,
Yes,
for you?
yeah.
Same thing. At first, I thought I heard Laurel, but after a couple of times, I hear it more as Yarrow.
Yarrow, right?
Yarrow, yeah, Yarrow, which is again close to Yanny. I don't really hear the Laurel so much.
Not so much.
But let us know, for those of you who are watching, let us know, do you hear Yanny or do you hear Laurel?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And in fact, I think New York Times,
did.
they actually devised a tool where you can actually hear both,
Yes.
depending on the frequency.
Yeah, so the thing is that if you are attuned to higher frequencies, you can hear the word Yanny more clearly.
Yeah.
If you're attuned to lower frequencies, you hear Laurel more clearly, right?
Correct.
So, well, just see the clip and you understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Laurel, 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 Yanny, 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 Yanny.
There you go.
Okay, I can understand where Laurel comes from.
Yeah.
I can definitely hear it when you slide it to the lower frequency.
But it's amazing, right? How you
Very
can hear
interesting,
both. It's
very interesting. Learn
It's very
something new every day. I would have thought I would have learned about frequencies.
Exactly.
Because of
So,
this.
but of course, there are doubts. People have casted doubts as to whether
Right.
the audio clip posted is authentic, as some experts think that it could have been manipulated.
Yeah, so the original clip, apparently it was taken from vocabulary.com.
Yeah.
So when you click on the audio pronunciation of Laurel,
Yeah.
it sounds like Laurel.
Laurel,
right? Like what it is.
How is it Yanny, honestly? But let us know.
And we can take some comments.
I think we can see
Yeah,
some
'cause
comments.
I
I think
already
I've seen
saw.
people coming in and saying, okay,
So Brandon Lim says, Apa Yaro? Yare? So that's what I hear, Yare.
okay.
Most say Yanny.
Yeah. Oh, Brandon
Yeah.
says Yare.
Yeah.
Ichen says Team Laurel. My ears work. Trust me.
Well, that's he's alone in the team because no one
there's a
else
lot.
here is saying
Yare.
Laurel.
Then Ming's Wang says Yanny with a Y-E and then Y. Doesn't matter the spelling. Oh, Joash Tan says at first Yanny, after a while Laurel becomes more apparent. Oh, okay. Felix Tan says I think it's Yelly, not
Yelly.
Yanny.
Okay.
Keep your comments coming in, because we want to know what you think. Whether is it Yanny or Laurel, or maybe you hear a completely different word
The
altogether.
answer could be both.
Okay.
Right,
maybe
why
both.
not? The answer can be both.
Like Yarrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
let us know.
Right. So anyway, another week, another launch of 2 ST original video series. On Tuesday, we premiered season 2 of Living City.
Yep.
The first episode is about this season is
Yeah.
about places and communities in Singapore and how it has influenced the lives of the people there.
Yep.
So for the first episode, we covered the Cyrene Reefs.
Yeah,
and we
correct.
can, take a look.
Take a look at the preview.
Getting to Cyrene, we get onto a larger boat. And then from there we go onto a smaller dinghy. Then we land on the shore because there is no jetty. So we're going with Alex. Alex has a beautiful boat. He's very experienced, so he knows where to park, how to get us there, and he keeps an eye on us all the time. We can only do this at low tide, which is why we have to leave on time. If you're late, too bad, because the tide waits for no one, and neither do we.
So this episode premiered on Tuesday, so you can watch the full video on our website, that is straitstimes.com, or on our Facebook page. Now this series, they are part of partnership, right, between Singapore Press Holdings as well as the Infocom Media Development Authority, or IMDA. Now there are 8 episodes in total for Living City, and it is broadcast every 2 weeks, so every fortnightly.
And there's another series that premieres today. Right, and it's ST Session. So if you tuned in last week, our colleague Brian was here on the show, and he did share a lot about ST Session. So we won't go at length about it, but basically it's about following musicians before their live gig.
Yep. So remember to watch them. You can also watch ST Sessions on our website, that is straitstimes.com, as well as on our Facebook page. I think we can see comments.
Yeah, just say hi.
Let's just say hi to people. I think people. Oh, Sumraj Verma says hi. Let's see.
Okay, so Sean says he's talking about the Yanny and Laurel clip. So he says apparently the younger guys hear Yanny and the oldies hear Laurel. But he doesn't mean to call anyone old.
Okay. Let's see. We have Brian Chi that says how to ensure there is no abuse of authority. Okay, this is probably the SCDF. Which also followed by tekan session is okay, but abuse of authority to tekan someone to get to him from personal grudge, no uncommon. Okay.
Not uncommon, maybe.
Not uncommon.
Right.
Okay, so do we have any more? Okay, we have Genevieve that says suggests to stop ragging in school and uniform group. The government should look into this seriously. Yeah. So continue to keep your comments coming in, on all the 4 topics that we've talked about. Social inequality and the SCDF.
The ragging incident.
Ragging incident.
Also, is it Yanny or Laurel?
Yanny or Laurel. Or even just let us know, whether you enjoyed watching our series as well, SC series. Okay, so Alyssa.
Yes, now you're very excited about this.
Yes, I am always excited. So last week, I understand that between you and Brian, there was no winner.
Yeah, there was no winner. It was a tough week, man. The judge, I don't know, maybe he was in a bad mood or something.
Bad mood, probably.
I don't
But
know.
previous week, you remember who won, right?
You lah.
Of course. Okay, so we are now on our top Facebook comments section. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together to welcome Judge Joe.
Okay, we purposely cleared the way. Yes.
Oh.
Careful.
Okay.
I thought it's fine when we cleared the
but
floor,
we forgot.
Yeah.
We forgot the things up there.
All
Okay,
right.
so Alyssa, you're going to go first because you're contender, right?
Yes, I am. Okay, so
Judge.
Okay. So the headline is Police Rescue Chicks Crossing the Road in Dhoby Ghaut. Okay, the comment is from Eldridge Tam. He says, were those chicks jaywalking? If so, they ran afoul of the law.
I know Judge Joe, he likes puns,
He loves
right?
puns. He loves
Okay,
puns.
so I have another pun for you, right? Okay, so this is man caught at Woodlands checkpoint trying to smuggle contraband cigarettes in bread loaf. And the headline is Contra Bread. Okay, so Samuel David says, looks like it was game Dover for the smuggler.
A bit tried too hard, right?
Okay, fine. So Alyssa gets the point, right?
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go. Round 2.
Okay.
So, following a $60 million facelift, Century Square in Tampines will have more dining options. And of course, they listed out. And then Century Square Mall to reopen with return of local label emphasis. Don't know whether you've heard that, Judge Joe. So Terry Tan says, emphasis only sells funeral coloured clothes, but I like.
Not true. Sometimes they sell blue, yellow.
Okay, I don't know. I'm never sure I have emphasis. Okay, you go.
Okay.
At least I'm not getting a point now.
Okay, so mine is actually the same story, the Woodlands checkpoint one. So man caught at Woodlands checkpoint trying to smuggle contraband cigarettes, right, in bread loaf. So Benjamin Cheong says the fine will be the yeast of his concerns.
Okay, never mind. Looks like you won, but we'll just go with third one.
Yes.
Okay, we'll just go with the third one.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, Ali, go.
Okay, so recalcitrant offender jailed
Okay.
after throwing his feces at ex-girlfriend at food stall. So Neo Kaiwan says literally a third affair. Third being a word that starts with S. Yeah, but the joke is lost because
Yeah.
it's,
Oh well, I'm gonna go next. Okay, so this is about excuse me. This is about football, yeah. Without the raw, there are no lions. The lions must be rawed by the whole Kalang, urged Fandi Ahmad as he addressed the national team's chances of progressing in the AFF Cup. Zain Lai in Total Shade 101 says, watching paint dry is more interesting. Right. Shade. Okay, so who gets that point? I got the point, but of course the winner. Okay, the winner is Alyssa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Clap. Thank you, Judge Joe.
Thank you, Judge Joe.
Thank you.
I knew that present paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. The
present.
gift.
Okay. I don't know what is going on. This is inequality.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
Yes.
But
Because
you could also have bought him a gift or given him a gift.
you have the resources to bribe. I'm just repeating what the producer is saying.
Oh, that's not fair. This is not fair.
But
The
in any
playing
case,
field is not even.
we hope you guys have enjoyed the topics this week for Hangout with ST. Now, for more stories and videos, do log on to our website, that is straitstimes.com.
And we are also on different social media platforms. We have YouTube, Instagram, of course our Facebook, and we're also on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. So once again, she's Alyssa.
And he's Hairianto.
Goodbye and see you next week.